Welcome to Guns Gear Network, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I want to bring you this tabletop review of a new optic that I bought for my MK18 MOD0 pistol build. It's a budget build that I started some weeks back, and it was sponsored by Orion-Arms, which was nice enough to donate this custom engraved lower receiver that we have with the MK18 MOD0 engravings on it. I want to thank them again for doing that. So, if you're familiar with the MK18, you'll know that it comes with an aim point, and so I didn't want to spend, again, this is a budget build, so I wanted to stay as true to the original, but without spending a bunch of money. And to do that, I've done a bunch of research, kind of found something that I thought would work, and if I'm ever looking at budget optics, I normally lean towards Primary Arms. They've proven to me time and time again that they make nice red dots. I've got them on numerous firearms. I've got some of their scopes. They just make a nice product for the money. And they came out with a new 30mm that's 30mm red dot. It's called their Advanced 30mm red dot. That is very similar to what was on this on a MK18 from the military. That is very similar to an aim point. So I will say that. So what is the new Primary Arms Advanced 30mm red dot? So what you have here is a 30mm, and I'll read a little bit of information about it from the box. And it says, our toughest full-size red dot ever. It has a 14,000 hour battery life. Yes, you heard it, 14,000 hours. And that's probably on the lower to mid settings. It has improved brightness control knob, night vision compatible, waterproof, fog resistant, lifetime warranty. So that's some basic information, and I'll continue telling you a little bit about it. When you order these, they do not come with a mount. I wanted to stick to being as close traditional as I could with this, and the original came with a Wilcox 30mm. It's essentially just a scope ring, but it's a Wilcox. But again, I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. Just a Wilcox mount, scope ring mount, is like 150 bucks. So I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. So I think I've got less than $150 in this whole unit. So they do, in their drop down selection, once you order the red dot, you can get what this is called the extra high. And the reason I wanted the extra high, and this is the Primary Arms brand, is because I wanted a lower 1/3 witness, co-witness. And this extra high accomplishes that. Lower 1/3 means, to me, it's not as crowded, and you can research absolute co-witness and lower 1/3, and you'll see the meanings of all that. So that's another video altogether. So the tube diameter is 30mm. It has 10 brightness settings. It is night vision compatible on the lowest settings. So the lowest 3 settings. Traditionally, you're not going to get a truly night vision type setup in this price point, but it is night vision compatible in the lowest 3 settings of the brightness. It has a click value of 0.5 MOA, so your adjustments, total elevation adjustment and total windage adjustment is 40 MOA. The length of this unit is 4.6 inches. The weight is 11.7 ounces, just under 12 ounces. It has a 2 MOA dot, which I like. A lot of them have 4 and up to 5 MOA, and what that means is if you have a target at 100 yards, a 4 MOA dot means that it would cover 4 inches of that target at 100 yards. So that means when you fire the shot, that your bullet could land here at the edge, in anywhere in between, because you can't get a finer shot than that. However, with a 2 MOA, it only covers 2 inches of that target. So you can be a little more precise with a smaller MOA red dot, and that right here accomplishes that. And I do like that about that. It is waterproof, fog resistant, we mentioned that. It is nitrogen purged. It uses 1/3N button battery, and I think you can, I think I read somewhere where you can actually take 2 of the smaller button batteries and put them together if you needed to in a pinch, but because this button battery in particular is not the easiest to find, but they are available. Again, mentioned the 14,000 hour battery life, and it says here at the daylight visible setting, and I don't know what that means because it doesn't have daylight visible setting on there. So I assume in the lower settings. So maybe, let's say it's 1 through 10, it's probably going to be, you know, in the 3 to 5 range where you would have that 14,000 hour battery life, which is phenomenal, right? fully multi-coated. It is made of 6063 aluminum. They do come in two colors, black, and they recently released, I think, a desert tan. So it's an anodized finish, works with a wide variety of industry standard 30mm mounts. Lens cover is included, and it does have a lifetime warranty on it. It says it right there on the box, lifetime warranty. So what do we have here? Here's your adjustment knob. The neat thing about this one is if you turn it all the way counterclockwise, it'll go to 0 and stop and cut off. Same thing, if you go all the way to the right, it actually goes to 0 and stops. So what I did was I've set this up where I've went all the way left until it went 0. And now, I'm sorry, I had this backwards. I went all the way right. So what that means is when I turn it one click to the left, it's in its highest, brightest setting to 10. And if I want to back it up, I can just, go down a little bit lower. Excuse me, guys. Again, it has lens cover caps. I've got one facing up, one facing down for a reason, because the way it fits on this pistol build. Your battery goes in this section here is where it goes in, and it also comes with this little bikini cap retainer. Is this right here. I had to install that. That just comes loose in the box, so you can put that on. A lot of these, some of these other brands, they actually have like wire styles. This is more traditional to the aim point style, so I do like that. It's kind of neat. And so, but there's where you put your battery. Then your windage and elevation are under these knobs. So let's take a look at that underneath, what it looks like. So, pretty traditional in design, nothing too fancy or crazy. It's got a little slot here, and it's got the click adjustments around the edge, tell you where it's at. It also has like a laser engraved wording that says up here and an arrow. So, in other words, it's telling you to turn it this way to bring the red dot up, and you turn it obviously in the opposite direction to bring it down. And it does have O-rings, obviously, because it is waterproof. Just be careful not to cross thread whenever you're putting caps and stuff back on. Be aware of that. Another thing that I do like that is kind of different than what they traditionally did in the past is this writing here. It says Primary Arms. Well, in the past, this right here was usually in a real bright white writing, and they've muted that, so it's almost, you have to tilt it a certain way to even see it. So a lot of times it just, a lot of the older a lot of the older red dots that they did, it was really bright white. So I do like the idea that they've changed that to more of a subtle wording there, where you can't really see it that well. It doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. Again, standard 30mm type stuff. Show you how that works. I'm gonna put it in the furthest forward position. Only what I do is hand tighten it down, get the play out of it. What you need to do is same thing with a scope, right? So you need to take this and push it all the way forward. Get it pushed all the way forward and then tighten it down. Just like that. That way when it recoils, it's not going to have any movement. I do the same thing when I put this on here. I put it in, and with Loctite, I used blue Loctite, and I went from here and kind of did a crisscross pattern, then put my two in the center, and then tightened it all down after I made sure it was center. The good thing about this, because it's not a crosshair design, it's not detrimental that the crosshair is exactly straight up and down. A dot doesn't really matter. So I just kind of eyeballed it, make sure everything was kind of lined up, and put it in. If you look, caps go up, one goes down, just like that. But I hadn't done any range testing with this one or my other equipment on this just yet. I will get to that. But I usually am never disappointed with Primary Arms. Anytime I've ever even had a minor issue, and I think I had a minor issue one time with one of their mounts, and they took care of it immediately. So I don't think that I'm going to have any problems with this, and I'm pretty excited to find it for this price point, especially with the 14,000 hour battery life. I think that's awesome. So you don't have to really worry about it for the most part. If you want to leave it as a home defense gun, leave the red dot on, you could for, you know, a long time. So anyway, guys, appreciate you tuning in. If you got any questions, post those below. Again, I want to thank Orion-Arms for sponsoring this build and donating this awesome, really good-looking lower with the custom engraving. That's just, it's been great. So anyway, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. It's over in that corner down there. Also, share content. It's over there in that section. And I'll put in the section below which one of these I got. So if you want to choose to buy one, you can go over to Primat Arms and do that. And I'll also maybe link to a few of the other videos that I've done about this build. Or you can go to my playlist and find those. It's been a very fun build, and I'm excited about finishing up a couple little things, getting it to the range, and actually seeing how it does. But anyway, guys, appreciate you tuning in. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Bring another video shortly. Have a great day.